work as a multidisciplinary activist, and largely known for my performances, but I'm also the founder and the director of Perfect Grace International Artist Residency in Ghana. Though the residency is based in Kumasi, it invites artists from all over the world. So far since 2019, we have hosted more than 130 or 50 artists from over 25 countries. So my practice focus on investigating and also exploring the politics on identity. I'm hearing that even in other countries outside of Ghana or outside of Africa, people still think that non-binary identity is very Western and Eurocentric, or is Euro-American centered culture. I asked people around me how many of them were born, and on day one, they know already that they have to wear trousers or wear skirts. You are born into this world as empty and as naked, and until we begin to categorize and regroup people, organisms into very Western scientific knowledge, that is what created the binarism. So without this so-called scientific categorizations, I don't think that we should be here battling over who should be a woman and who should be a man, and how a woman should dress and how a man should be dressed. And Kojebesia has been there before the colonial invasion, and it is just people who identify as male at birth because they have their penis as a genitalia, but then all their life is more feminine. Attitude, speaking, even dressing is more feminine. So these are people who we would call the effeminate men. And these effeminate men, I wouldn't say, I can challenge that if we look back into every society, effeminate men existed long ago. An effeminate man can be attracted to a woman. An effeminate man can be attracted to themselves. An effeminate man can be attracted to a man. Kojebesia is like you are looking at a penis that is looking woman. Maybe that's the best way I can define it. You are looking at the penis, but all you see is vagina. So it doesn't matter whether this person is dressed or not dressed. You need to just look detailed to see that, okay, this person has a penis. But you see a feature of a person who is very feminine. So Kojebesia can be physically effeminate but feel inside as a man, just as a cis woman will be feeling as a man inside, but identifying as a cis woman outside. And I grew up with a very, very effeminate person. From my primary, we went to the same school until junior high school. And the teacher, student, everybody appreciated this person for being so woman. So even though this person does not come out to proclaim or to say, I identify as a woman, or I am a trans woman, you know, just by behavior and everything, everybody accept this person as a woman. And they were very comfortable to only play with women. So in my language, they say nyonubome. Nyonubome means that you behave like a woman, and it's like you are affected by a woman. So they call them this way, you know. But this was fine. There was no legal constitution, bill, laws against being this person. You don't have to identify. You don't have to say my name is this to be this. It is your true existence, and people appreciate, accept you. And gender roles are also defined so much in the like the way the West look at gender role, like, is so clear. And gender roles also like differ from society to society. Because there are some communities in and outside of Africa where the men have to do this specific thing and the women have to do that specific thing, and which is not necessarily what it is seen in Europe. If we look at the Wadabe cultures, the Wadabe from Niger, among the Wadabe tradition, it is not the men that look for the wife. It is the wife that looks for the husband. So the men are not the one in charge, where they will parade a group of women for you to select your future wife. It is the parading of men for the women to select their future husband. So the men have to do a lot of work, makeup. So the men will make up, beautify themselves for this festival, for them to be selected. So the Wadabe is translated as people of taboo, because they subverted the heteronormative structure, even just between a man and a woman. This is not homosexual relationship. It's heteronormative, but they subverted it. It's not applicable to the tribe I come from in Ghana. I'm an Ewe. And as far as I know, I don't know about the past, but as far as I know, it's not the same for the men to beautify themselves, for the women to select. So it's also it's also like very distinct. Like one, you can be in the same country, but each tribe has their unique culture. Now another reference in Ghana is the Nzumas, which also was written by an Italian anthropologist in 1973, called Ajari marriage, where men could pay bride price for another man and get married. But I knew that I wasn't what I was. Yeah, I just couldn't find a language to define myself. I just couldn't find a way to relive my own identity. And I just couldn't find the courage enough to be true to myself. But that doesn't mean I never existed. So I need to face my own feelings. I need to face my own reality. And that became where my advocacy and my activism started from. So I was born myself from my activism. So coming out and living my true self also was through my own activism. Facing and creating my own resistance and facing all the vulnerabilities and saying, yeah, this is who I am and this is what I want to be, this is what I will be forever, and this and that and that. That's where I was born from. They should also know that we are still looking for funding to secure our own space because our residency is at risk. And this is one of the risk our residency, which is Purple Craze International Artist Residency, is facing now. And I have been raising funds since last year. I opened a GoFundMe looking for 300,000 USD. So far, we only raised 29,000. So anyone who is listening to us should pull their networks together and see how they can support us to be able to reach our goal and have a secure space for ourselves and for those who are yet to be born. People will be born every day, every second, every hour. They need some other people to lean on to know that they can exist and they can survive.